Right. All right, here we go. Revved and ready. Great to have you back, Rush Limbaugh and the Excellence in Broadcasting Network. The telephone number, if you want to be on the program, is 800-282-2882. The email address, lrushmore@eibnet.com. You know, Isaac was a little nervous out there, and when we ran out of time with the young man, his parents really kept him home from school today so that he could try to appear on the program. They actually let him. These are parents with their priorities straight, folks. Kept the kid at home so that he'd have a chance to be on the program. Now, he told Snerdley why Rush Revere is his favorite character. And that's because Rush Revere puked on one of the crewmates, one of the crew members on the Mayflower during a fit of seasickness. And I told Snerdley, I said, you know, I almost took that out because puking and said, it's a little, gross. And I said, no, Catherine said, no, leave it in. Kids love people throwing up on other people. They love it. I said, well, then my instincts were right. So we left it in there. And that's why he liked Rush Revere, because he puked on a bad guy. And I was going to tell him, you hear what he said? He came home from school hating Christopher Columbus because he had been taught that Christopher Columbus hated Native Americans and came here and killed them. And then basically conquered and took everything he found himself. And who knows whatever else one of the things they teach about Columbus is that he brought racism, and he brought sexism, he brought sexually transmitted diseases. They actually even lay syphilis on Columbus. I kid you not. And they also blame, I'm not making this up, the multiculturalists blame Columbus and other white Europeans for bringing horses. There were no horses here. And if without horses, there was no way of conquering the Indians. And, of course, that was a bad thing because the Indians were at one with this land. They were at one with nature. And the white Europeans, led off by Columbus, came here and basically plundered, raped, and pillaged. And brought racism, sexism, bigotry, homophobia, too. And sexually transmitted disease. And this is what these people, the young kids, are taught. So he's telling us he's going home from school one day mad, hating Christopher Columbus. And fortunately, he got home, told his parents, and they were able to show him where that was wrong and part of an agenda curriculum. That's why I did these books. That is exactly why. In the first book, Rush Revere and the Brave Pilgrims, tells the true story of that. And we just went to pre-order on the second book, which, for all intents and purposes, is by popular demand. I mean, ever since the first book, about 2 weeks into it, people have been begging for another one. Parents, kids have been writing, and there were always going to be two books. The only thing we had to decide was when did we want to announce the second one. And we know one a year, 2 a year, 3 a year. Do we want to become a factory of these things? And we're still, ironing that out. But the second book is available for pre-order. You can be one of the first on your block to get it. The pre-order is available now at Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Books A Million. Book is actually on sale, audio and hardcover, on March the 11th. And it is, I wrote, I can honestly tell you. And if I wasn't that excited about it, I wouldn't tell you if it was good if I didn't really think it was. And they're both excellent. I'm so proud of them. But this second one, there's some real conflict and some entertaining way of teaching tyranny in a way that 10 to 13-year-olds can understand it. These books focus on freedom and what it is. We're getting to the point in our culture, I sense anyway, that freedom, the word freedom and the concept of freedom, and if you discuss them to people in the context of their perhaps being taken from us, freedom being taken, or dwindling away, Some people smirk and laugh at you. Come on, nobody's taking our freedom away. Come on, Rush. It kind of reminds me of back in the 80s, even. To start describing certain people as communists was ineffective because nobody wanted to believe it. Nobody. I mean, communists were so bad that nobody could be one other than the Soviet communists. But if there were domestic people that were sympathetic to it, it was not a persuasive way. It was not a good way to persuade people to think of people by calling them communists. And I'm sensing now that even discussing the concept of freedom and losing it, which is happening.